What's up, my friend? Welcome back to another video, and today's video is quite a different one. It's actually my birthday today. I'm turning 27, and I'm not saying that to ask for birthday wishes or anything like that, but I wanted to do a video going over 27 things that I'm actually thankful for in my life. And if for no other purpose than to just reflect on what we have, what I have, and be thankful for those things, and just think about things from a more of an overview perspective. I think this will be useful for at least myself for reflection, but hopefully it'll give you some ideas and maybe some insights to also be thankful for if you relate to any of these. So before we jump in the spirit of birthdays and giving, I want to give you a free guide called the Ideal Composing Workflow. If you're just starting out, or even if you've been composing for a while, working in music for a while, and you just want to refine your workflow and make sure that every time you write a piece of music, it's seamless and it's really fun and enjoyable, then I want to give this guide to you. It's a 4-step framework, and it covers the exact method I go from to start with the initial idea all the way to the polished mix and master. It's foolproof, really. It's what I use every single time, and I want to give it to you 100% free. So if you click the first link in the box below, it'll take you straight there, and you can download it as my gift to you. So let's jump into the 27 things that I'm thankful for. I will admit some of these took a little bit more time to think about. The first 10 or 15 were pretty easy, but after that I had to be a little more specific and really think about it. But the first one, without a doubt, is God and Jesus. I'm a Christian, so I definitely believe that, I was created in the image of God, and I was put on this earth for a reason, and I'm just very thankful to Him that I have, a life that I'm able to share with you, that I'm able to do music in general. Everything wouldn't be, nothing would be possible without God's guidance and God's gifts to me. So He's definitely the one I thank for everything in my life so far. So God is definitely number one. Number two is my family. So if God is number one, my family's definitely underneath that, or the second in line. And my mother, my father, and my little brother, they're my immediate family, and they're very, very supportive of what I'm doing. My mother is the more practical one, so after I graduated high school, she wanted to push me into, or guide me into, a nursing program, because nowadays with the boomer age, the demand for healthcare and everything is just rising, that demand. So it was a very practical field that I actually spent a year in. I went to McMaster University, did a year there, and kind of realized that it just wasn't really for me. I was never really great around blood and the human body in general. So I kind of realized it wasn't for me. And my father, on the other hand, couldn't bear to see me in nursing and in the healthcare field because it just wasn't what I was made for, he thought. So he actually really wanted me to go into music and go into piano. So it's nice to have that balance there for sure. But he basically convinced my mom and convinced me as well to go into music, go into piano. And that's why I went into performance in my second year, which then became my first year. And then my little brother, he's 4 years younger than me. He is about to graduate from university next year in computer engineering. So he's doing a much more practical field than I am, but I'm super proud of him. And I know that he's doing some great work, and I'm excited for him as well. So my family, I'm very thankful for. Number three are my friends, the people who I hang out with. And I'm actually, I don't have the biggest friend group, so I'm naturally more of an introvert, and I like to be alone. But at the same time, the friends that I do have, I find that I'm pretty close to, and they're friends that I would consider reliable. I consider them close friends. I can turn to them if I need anything, or if they need me, they can always turn to me. And it's just a really comforting feeling, and just a warm, fuzzy feeling to know that you have people you can rely on, and you can turn to outside of your immediate family. So my friends are definitely number three for sure. Number four is my home. I live in a house owned by my parents, and I'm very thankful for that. So every single day I have somewhere to come back to, and most days I'm working out of the house anyway. So it's really easy to take it for granted, but no doubt, I am absolutely thankful for the house that we live in, and it's sizable, so it's not like we're cramped for space or anything. I'm definitely thankful for that. Number five is food and water. I am a huge food lover. I love food so much. And you might have noticed in the past year or so in some of the videos, I kind of gained some weight. So COVID made it really, really easy to just, indulge really. And I realized, earlier this year, I wanted to take control again of my diet. I started intermittent fasting. I exercise, 4 to 5 times a week. So I'm really trying to take control of that aspect of my life. And I love water as well. So I have a water bottle, literally is balancing the phone right now that you're watching this video on. I drink a lot of water as well. But yeah, food and water, many people consider them basic necessities that we just need to get by, but I see it as more than that. I just love food, especially different styles of food, which segues perfectly into number 6, which is restaurants and other services. So restaurants, it's food, right? But the fact that there are so many varieties of food in this world and that I can experience so many of them where I live, that's just a beautiful thing. And I love that we have those options available to us in the Western world. So I'm very thankful for that. Other services like, hair cutting or lawn mowing or, things like that that are nice to haves, those essentials as well. Everything just culminates together in a really beautiful way. And it just makes quality of life higher, of course. So that's what makes business run, like supply and demand, and all of that makes the industry kind of continue and chugging along and all of that. So I'm very thankful that we have those available to us. Number 7 is clothing. So again, you might consider that a basic necessity. I would as well. But of course, you can go just past regular shirts and pants, but you can go more fancy, right? And that's why there's designer brands and stuff, because they know they can charge a lot. And then the people who have that money to spend, they can spend it. But yeah, generally, I would consider myself more of a modest person in terms of fashion, right? Like I don't wear tons of, rings or tattoos. Like I have no tattoos. I'm pretty conservative in that regard, I guess. But I am thankful that I have a variety of clothing that I can choose from to kind of fit how I'm feeling on a certain day. So in this day, like you can see I'm wearing black, and I was just feeling, let's wear a little black today that kind of blend into the background. But I don't know, no other reasoning than that. But clothing's definitely number 7. Number 8 is devices. So computers and my phone, but without those things, I wouldn't be able to have the business I have and, be able to do what I'm doing right now. So, they can be expensive. I am an Apple user, so I use a lot of their products, but that's just the workflow I've been enjoying from an earlier age. So especially I think when I was a teenager, I really started to get more into Apple products when I realized how intuitive it was for me and how easy it was to use. So computers and my phone are definitely ones that I'm thankful for, absolutely. Number 9 is internet and power. So power just meaning like hydro and having electricity and everything like that. Again, those are more necessities in the Western world for sure. Internet, of course, enables me to do what I'm doing right now and sharing with the world for free and all of that stuff. Without internet, it wouldn't be possible, and I wouldn't have my online business either. So I'm definitely thankful for the internet. Number 10 is my music studio. So that includes my MIDI controller, my keyboard, my iMac, right? That's part of the computers, my speakers, my headphones, my lamp, my, audio interface, like all the necessary equipment I have for my music studio that helps me write music, compose music, produce, orchestrate, all that stuff, sample libraries, right? Without those things, I wouldn't have the career that I'm doing right now. So definitely thankful for my music studio. Even though it's more minimal in size, it just makes me appreciate those aspects and every single element I have more and more. Number 11 is musical variety. So I'm talking about music itself. I love that we have so many genres and so many styles of music around the world that we can listen to and we have access to easier than ever before. But the biggest benefit of having so much music around is that we can listen to it and assimilate it into our own personal styles when it comes to songwriting and composing. The biggest question I think a lot of people ask is, how do I form my own sound and how do I create an original stamp in the world of music, right? And I think a really simple answer is to listen to as much music as you can in styles that you do enjoy, right? And then naturally, as you continue to write more music, those influences will naturally combine to form your own unique sound and style. So when I started writing music, my style was very Super Mario focused, and it really was inspired by those games, Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Odyssey. So every single track I wrote kind of sounded like it was in that vein. But as I've matured and as I've written more music, I've incorporated more influences, more Disney influences, more Chinese music stuff, just all around the world, jazz, classical, and I've kind of formed my own sound. And now every time I release a piece of music, people tell me like, it sounds like you, it sounds like Chris. And for me, that's one of the biggest compliments I could receive. So I'm definitely thankful for that. Number 12 is sample libraries and sample library developers, right? So these are the guys that actually provide us with the tools we use to create orchestral mockups, or really any virtual instruments in general. Without them, I think it would be a lot more difficult to come up with convincing results, and it would we would be lacking in a lot of inspiration, I think. So a lot of sample libraries nowadays, now that the core areas are basically covered, they kind of niche down to specific types of music that they're catering towards, but they also script these libraries and they put them together in really inspiring ways that maybe motivate us to write in ideas and write in ways we never considered before. And that's just a beautiful thing in itself. So we can treat these sample libraries as literal instruments that we play using our MIDI controller, but they spark new creative ideas that we might not have considered previously. So I'm definitely thankful for sample libraries and developers. And they have their own businesses. They sell these libraries to us as composers to use, but there will always be a demand for new sample libraries, I think. So yeah, definitely very thankful for those. Number 13 is my piano and my playing ability as well. So we have a Steinway grand piano in the basement of this house. I don't play it too much anymore because I don't really enjoy practicing, but if I ever want to just play around, improvise a little bit, I'll go downstairs, I'll play a little bit, and it just gives me some escape from everyday life, and it's just a lot of fun to immerse myself into the piano's sound. So I really am thankful for the piano and the fact that my mom got me into piano lessons from the age of 5, and I've had some really wonderful teachers that helped me enter a ton of competitions and festivals, or earn rewards, get my piano diploma, go to university for piano, right, and all of that stuff. And now I realize that all of that was very, very useful, because now I can use my piano abilities to make music. I created a course on playing piano that a lot of people have been enjoying, and even more that I can't even think about at the moment. So definitely thankful for my piano and playing ability. And going from that, number 14 is my tennis court and my playing ability as well. So my mom is the musical parent of in our family. So she was the piano player for our church choir when we were young, or when I was younger and my brother was young. And then eventually she stopped playing, but my father, on the other hand, he was more of the sporty guy. So he played tennis. I think he started learning in university. He really got into it, and he got me into tennis from the age of maybe it was 8 or 9 or something. I don't quite remember. But I do remember just having a lot of fun going to lessons and having a great coach. And we moved up to this house actually from a more convenient area. We moved up to the countryside a bit more to actually build a tennis court in the backyard. So we do have that, and we do play as much as we can. So I'm definitely thankful for that we can just go out and play anytime. And the fact that, my dad and I can play, and I can play with friends, it's really is just a blessing to not have to go to a club every single time and pay for a court. So no doubt it was a big investment, this court, but we want to make the most out of it as we can. So that's number 14, is the tennis court. Number 15 is my overall passion for songwriting and composing. I don't know exactly how I discovered this, but I'm pretty sure it was in high school. I talked about this before, but we had a music teacher who really loved to play Angry Birds, and the music classroom had a bunch of iMacs situated around the room, and he would basically give us free reign to go on the iMacs and go on GarageBand, basically do whatever we wanted. And during those music classes, I remember writing out 20 to 30 musical ideas just on the piano, coming up with themes and harmonies, and I had a lot of fun because I guess maybe when I was doing my theory exams when I was younger, I really enjoyed the counterpoint and harmony lessons where you got to create passages and compose a bit of music, write your own melodies, right? And that type of thing. And that gave me that creative freedom. So yeah, I never really knew what my passion was until I reached high school, when I discovered songwriting and composing, because playing piano was always something I just did. It got frustrating at times because I didn't always enjoy replicating other people's music. So when I discovered songwriting and composing, it was just a freeing feeling, being able to write music that I just wanted to write, that I had inside, and get that out there. It was a wonderful feeling. So that's number 15. Number 16 is a sense of optimism. I'm very thankful that I've been able to really approach life with a sense of hope and optimism and positivity. And I don't mean this in like a toxic way or anything, because there's a lot of people who take advantage of this concept of positivity and optimism to like really define their brands and exude this almost fake sense of confidence and positivity. But I've always felt that in every bad situation, it's not worth dwelling on all the negatives, because that just makes us feel bad and it can send us down a dark mental spiral, I think. I've always tended to see the silver lining in things, no matter what it is. Even if it feels like terrible in the moment, usually the next day it'll be like, okay, it's actually fine, because as a result of this, I've learned this lesson and we can move forward from there, and so on and so forth. So maybe it's I don't know, maybe it's my upbringing or something like that. And a credit to my parents as well, and to my high school. But I think living with a sense of optimism and looking forward to what's next on a day-to-day basis, and in some cases being ignorant to things around the world that are happening as well, because those things can definitely give you some mental burdens as well, So yeah, definitely going through life with a sense of optimism and hope and positivity is something that I found very helpful for me, to consistently deliver value and give my students and my viewers hope in as well, and encouragement. So I'm very thankful for that. Number 17 is patience. So I've been teaching piano and music now for, I think, 7 years. And even before that, I found that I was always relatively patient. I guess the really practical example would be if someone is not understanding a certain concept that I'm trying to teach them, instead of getting upset and trying to really bang it into their head, I would try to re-explain it in a slightly different way so that they could understand it. And I think that's always the better approach, is never to make the other person feel bad that they don't understand something, but rather take it upon ourselves and take responsibility that we might not be explaining something the right way for them, so trying to share it in a way that actually makes more sense. Patience for me is definitely something that I am proud of, and this goes just beyond teaching as well, right? In everyday life, if something happens, maybe someone is late to pick me up or something like that, I'm usually pretty patient and understanding of what's happening on the other side. So speaking of that, actually developing beyond that is empathy and compassion. That's number 18. Usually when someone is going through something, I feel like I'm pretty empathetic. I can understand what they're going through and see things from their side. And that really comes, that's pretty beneficial, I would say, when it comes to teaching and sharing knowledge as well. Because usually when I'm sharing a certain concept, I would tend to think of it from the other person's perspective. Like if I'm talking about music theory in general, right? Like not everyone is going to understand exactly what I'm talking about. So if there's a slightly more complicated topic, it would make more sense to maybe re-explain the easier topics, or cover those easier topics as more of like a refresher before moving on to the more advanced topics, because everyone is in a certain stage of life, and I wouldn't want my students to feel confused and overwhelmed, because I know what that feeling is like, So empathy, and then compassion. If someone's going through something, I try to again, understand what they're going through and feel for them, and support them however I can. So that's number 18. Number 19 is encouragement and supporting others. So very similar to empathy and compassion, but number 19 is more of the action I take. So the encouragement that I'm able to impart on other people. And I think this usually comes through with the tutorials and with the sample library reviews. And I always try to empower my students and empower my viewers that they can do whatever I'm trying to help them do, whether that's writing music or orchestrate or whatever. Anything is possible with practice, with training, with dedication and passion. Like you can do really anything you're setting your mind to, as long as you have that passion for it and you're consistently working at your craft to get to that level. I truly believe it's possible. And that's why, my messaging is constantly trying to encourage you in whatever I'm talking about. So that's number 19 is encouragement. Veering away from that a little bit, number 20 is just good weather. I think I'm a person who is pretty influenced by the outside elements. So right now outside it's like perfect weather. It's like 20 degrees Celsius, and for me that's like perfect. If it's a rainy day or if it's a really, really hot day, and if the elements are just kind of not how I personally desire, I tend to find myself a bit lethargic, maybe in a worse mood. I think there's a term for that, like a medical term for it, but yeah, like good weather, when it's out there and it's sunny and it's beautiful, it just makes the day seem so good, so beautiful, and I really appreciate that. So that's number 20. Number 21 is even more random, chapstick. I use this on a day-to-day basis. Burts Bees, so good, because I've never found a really good one, and it was only when I was in high school that I came. This is a terrible story, but I remember I was in a chemistry class in high school, and my lips were pretty chapped, because my current chapsticks just never worked. They never moisturized and anything like, And then I came across this yellow tube. It was just sitting on a desk. No one was by it, and the label around it was ripped off. So it was literally just a yellow tube. So I took off the cap. I saw, oh, it's a chapstick. I smelled it. It was mint. I'm like, oh, that's a nice smell. And yeah, I did put it on because I was pretty desperate. And in like 10 minutes, my lips were healed, so to say. Like they just felt so much better. And I was like, wow, what is this? I have to find this. So I think shortly after that, I went on Google, I typed in yellow tube chapstick or something, and then Burt's Bees showed up and the tube looked identical. So that's how my obsession with chapstick began. And yeah, very thankful for Burt's Bees chapstick. They're not sponsoring this video, by the way, but I just wanted to share that with you. Okay, number 22, we're almost there. Number 22 is workout programs and workout equipment, So the fact that we have internet, the fact that we have, online stuff in general allows us to share our knowledge with the world. And workout programs are probably comprising like one of the two biggest niches in the world, business and fitness, right? So I have a few workout programs, and I follow a YouTube channel called Zeus Fitness. And I've purchased a few of his programs that are like 6-week programs you go through. And my uncle very kindly bought me a set of dumbbells a few years ago. So I've been using those to follow along with the workout programs. And it's just been a lot of fun to try to stay in shape and take control of my life. I've talked about that already. But yeah, just a lot of fun. Number 23 is YouTube, the entire search engine of YouTube. I spend a lot of my day on YouTube. I watch videos. I love the platform. I have a few people I'm subscribed to that I watch all the time. And without YouTube, I wouldn't have my channel. I wouldn't have the audience that I have, the email list that I have, the products that I have, and so on and so forth. So big thank you to YouTube for actually existing and also trying to support its creators whenever possible. So very thankful for YouTube. On a similar vein, 24 is Kajabi. This is the online business platform that I run my online business on. It hosts my courses, it hosts my memberships that I can just basically sell. And then when customers buy, they can log into the platform and they have access to all that material. And it makes the entire process of running a business very, very easy, especially an online knowledge business, So in addition to the courses and the memberships, they also have a website builder. So right now my website is hosted on Kajabi. They have email marketing so I can reach my email list. They have analytics and a customer reports and all of that stuff that makes, again, running a business so easy. So I'm very, very thankful for Kajabi that they're existing. And again, they're trying to improve all the time to make online business easy for their creators. Number 25 are my peers and collaborators. So my fellow musicians who are on the platform, my fellow business owners who are also on the platform. I'm in a couple of groups that I tend to like to share in, or I like to absorb knowledge from. And just having people around you that are in your industry that understand what you're going through is a very useful thing to have. So I'm very thankful for those support groups and similar YouTube channels and similar businesses. It's a great network to have for sure. Number 26 is my YouTube and my email subscribers. So not just the viewers, but people who are actually subscribed to this channel and actually show an interest in wanting to see more from me every single week. I'm really thankful to those people, and you might be one of them if you're a subscriber here on YouTube. Thank you so much. And of course, I have to thank my email subscribers because through email, I'm able to contact you more directly, send you valuable content that I don't share anywhere else, and also share with you paid offerings that might help you with your music and more. If you feel like you're lacking in a certain area and you want to go even deeper with me beyond the YouTube videos, I can do all of that through emails. And big thank you to my email subscribers as well who enjoy my content there. And last but not least, number 27 are my paid customers. The people who basically run my business, the people who make my living. These are the people who enjoy my content, want to go deeper with me. They see a course that I've created that is super in depth, it's comprehensive. Maybe they want to join my membership if they want personal accountability, they want a support group of like-minded musicians, they want access to me. All of that stuff is located within my paid material. And I have to thank those people because they allow me to do what I do, to continue creating free content for you. And just, basically it just runs, the business runs by itself as this cycle continues. So I'm very thankful for my paid customers, of course, as well. So there we go. That's all 27 things I'm thankful for. And we're just about at 27 minutes as well for this video. Look at that. Yes. Whatever it may be in your life, I think it's a great idea, at times to sit back and just reflect on what you're actually thankful for, what you've been blessed with in life. And it's a great exercise to just reflect and just see things with a more positive light and then go forth from there. Because I think when you approach things with more abundance mentality and you think about things from a more positive way, it affects not only yourself, but those around you as well. They can see that you're a happy person, a positive person, not an optimistic person, and it might brighten their day as well. And I think in general, if we all think about things like that, it'll just make the entire world, or at least the amount of influence that we have in our own networks and our own circles, it'll make that so much better. So yeah, anyway. A little bit of a cheesy video, this one, but again, I wanted to share with you some of the things I'm thankful for on my birthday today. And thank you so much for being a viewer and hopefully a subscriber. It really does mean a lot to me. And before you go, I do again want to give you a free gift for checking this video out. It's a guide called the Ideal Composing Workflow. Again, it's a 4-step process that goes through my process from the initial idea all the way to the polished final master. I use this every single time I'm writing a piece of music, and it's helped a lot of my students as well. So I want to give it to you totally free. Just click the first link in the box below and you can grab it as my gift to you for watching this video. Thank you again. I'll catch you in the next one, and take care. Bye-bye.